person who's never even seen a real gun
Right.
it has to actually hold a gun and fire it probably.
Correct.
And this woman, she's left with no options. वो
Right.
कहती भी है in one of the teasers आया था कि मेरे पास और कोई रास्ता नहीं.
She believes that she can do this because she actually doesn't know how difficult it is.
On the job, like set पे मैंने literally जूते घिस कर सीखा है.
Right.
And when you come from outside, कुछ पता ही नहीं होता.
Hi everyone, you're watching me on IWMBuzz. This is Kumar, and I am in conversation with Divya Khossla and director Abhinay Deo. Okay, guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Of course, we're here to talk about Savi. It looks so intriguing right away, and especially coming from you, you've been a master of sorts, with subjects like this, and it's interesting that you have something like this coming up now.
Thank you so much.
I have to ask you that ये सारी जो किस तरह के concepts होते हैं, there has been a certain way of doing it. People have done it so far in a way. Sometimes it's accepted, sometimes it's not. Just like every film has their own destiny. But what my question is that just तरह ये जो prison break वाला concept है,
Yeah.
right? Until and unless it's not right away logical, right away rather taught and rather crisp,
Correct.
it's usually rejected. And if there is even a blink of logic missing there, people usually like, fine, this is going away. Do you feel that's been a case, and do you feel Savi is completely different from that?
Yeah, to be honest, I feel that any film needs to be based on logic. It needs to have its emotions, logic, its research in the right place, and particularly Savi. When we talk about this film, my expertise so far always has been to try and make sensible, realistic, and logical films.
Right.
I don't believe I make illogical films ever. But the fact is that, look, a success of a film is not just based on whether the film is logical or not. It is based on many other factors.
Right.
And let's not talk about its success or its future, because that's not in our hands.
Absolutely.
That's in the hands of the audience, particularly, and the Almighty up there. So all that we have in our hands is to put our best effort in front of the audiences, and that's what we've tried to do with this film.
Right. So basically, when you write, I mean, I know you've not written the film, but what I mean is that there are scenes written. There is always, when you're directing, okay, fine, I think ये थोड़ा सा outlandish हो जाएगा.
Yeah.
ये थोड़ा. Did you make sure, and even you as an actor, when you contribute to some things, you also have an opinion and you have an outlook, and so do you.
Yeah.
What are the kind of conversations that ensued if there was a scene like that you felt, no, I think this is going somewhere else?
So let me give you from a directorial point of view the
Yeah.
answer. Then Divya can take it as an actor. Directorially, let's go to the base of this film. The base of this film is a simple person, a simple, unassuming woman who is confronted with a very large task, and that task is of figuring out how to get her husband saved from the clutches of a wrongly accused judicial system, and that while she is doing that, a person who's never even seen a real gun,
Right.
it has to actually hold a gun and fire it probably.
Correct.
So how will she do it? Now the good part about this was that it's not Mission Impossible. It is not Ocean's 11,
Exactly.
where it's a very planned kind of a this thing.
yeah.
We are not talking about CIA agents or
Correct.
FBI agents. We are talking about just a simple, unassuming woman
Right.
who figures out as the film progresses.
Right. Learning
that
on the job.
She learns on the job.
Yeah.
So actually, it became a very interesting thing for us to unravel a side of the, of
True.
going, a normal person going towards the side of crime, really, to kind of get or to do certain things which are very, very difficult.
Correct.
So logically, it was all there.
Yeah.
That, if she's holding a gun in a weird way, then she's holding it because she doesn't know how to hold a gun.
Right.
Or
right.
she believes that she can do this because she actually doesn't know how difficult it is. So that became actually we turned the problem into the solution.
Sort of. Divya, would you like to add something to that?
So like he already added, like आपने ट्रेलर में भी देखा
जी
होगा कि फिल्म बहुत रियल वे में शूट की है. इट इज
Hmm.
रियलिस्टिक. कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है जो कि लगेगा कि अरे ये कैसे कर दिया या. सो इट इज अ रियल स्टोरी. और कई बार हम हमारे पास जिंदगी कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं छोड़ते. इतना ऐसे खड़ा कर देते कि इसके बियॉन्ड कुछ है ही नहीं हमारे
राइट
पास. एंड दैट इज द ओनली ऑप्शन. एंड दैट्स हाउ. And this woman, she's left with no options. वो कहती
राइट
भी है, in one of the teasers आया था कि मेरे पास और कोई रास्ता नहीं.
करेक्ट
So फेल तो वो ऑलरेडी है क्योंकि इसके her family is gone,
गॉन
everything has been taken away. तो वैसे भी वो एकदम जीरो पे ही है. तो कहीं बढ़ेगी नहीं तो she's at zero only.
Right, fair, fair. That's true. And if I had to ask you that, of course, everybody knows and remembers your debut. You had really, really good first innings, I would say. And here you are. It's been a resurgence for you in the best way possible. You've directed, you've produced, you're acting, you're doing multiple things consistently. What has been the most special part about this resurgence? Ever since you've done that in the past decade.
I think the most important thing for me has been the learning, which has happened during the whole thing. You grow, you learn. When I came into the industry, I was a very naive, innocent girl who knew nothing. And there has been so much of learning on the job. Like set पे मैंने literally जूते घिस कर सीखा है.
Right,
And when you come from outside, कुछ पता ही नहीं होता, about
right.
cameras, about technicalities. I think my first film, which I directed, Yariyan, that gave me a lot. बहुत
Hmm.
बहुत सीखा वहाँ पहुँचने तक, because I directed so many music videos and all.
Correct.
So now I feel very now I think as a person also I've grown a lot. As a human being, as a person, मैं कहाँ से insecure सी डरी सी लड़की थी,
Hmm.
कहाँ पे मैं पहुँची हूँ. I've become a fearless person, a confident woman, and ready to take on the world. So I think on human grounds, on as well as in my field, I think I've grown a lot, and that has taught me a lot, and that is what I cherish. Because and of course I also cherish the pride when I see my parents' eyes.
Right.
That's something which is the most important thing for me.
Right, right. True, true. Certainly. And, what also interested me, I usually, these kinds of films are usually adaptations or something like that. This is not one. This is more so like a story which is, writers have come together. What interested me is it's entirely set in London. It's set because I think the idea of having a very sophisticated jailbreak, if I may, term it that way, is probably more plausible in a setting like that. But was there a reason, or was there more so like a thought that, okay, what if we try to do it in a Indian setting, where situations change because you can't do the jailbreak, so to speak. It's a very different setting. Did it ever occur to you?
Um, I actually what did make sense to us was that if you were to break a jail, possibly it's easier to do it in India than to do it in the United Kingdom,
Right.
because it is a very stringent security system there, and we wanted that.
Okay.
We wanted Savi's job to become that much more difficult, that it has to look so impossible that, my God, how is she going to even attempt to do this? Being an Indian in United
Also, you're
Kingdom,
in another country.
you're in a
Yeah,
different country.
exactly.
Support नहीं है.
नहीं है, right.
कोई सपोर्ट सिस्टम नहीं है.
Correct.
एंड उसके बावजूद आप एक ऐसी चीज करने जा रहे हो जो आपने कभी सोची भी नहीं है कि मुझे करनी पड़ेगी in life. And I think that was what the crux is, that we did think about it, that it is not easy to break out of any jail.
Yeah.
And that also United Kingdom, even more difficult.
Even more so.
But क्या होता है ना, many times, and that you will see in the film also, that the most difficult things sometimes have the most simple answers. And through this film, you will realize that as well.
Right.
That, through this entire thrilling aspect of the film, you will realize that actually solutions are sometimes hidden behind the most simple aspects of life.
True, true. Fantastic. Just a couple of things and we wind up. Anil Kapoor you've worked with, I know that he's such a vibe.
Yeah,
I would say he's a vibe. I've encountered with him a couple of times, and he's just how people know him to be.
yeah,
But having you work so extensively with him,
yeah.
what do you think? Is it about him that continue? I mean, people keep talking, have their anecdotes that he's constantly reinventing, he's just constantly hardworking. Yes, of course. But what is that one thing that struck him struck you about him that has stayed even all these years later?
I'll tell you the one thing that is the secret of his success. That one thing is that he's still a struggler.
Ah,
The most important thing I always have seen in him
right,
is that whenever you take a role to him, he looks at it like it's his first role and probably his last.
right.
So he gives 1,000,000% to it. And that's,
Amazing.
I think, when a struggler gets an opportunity, कि, oh, एक कुछ तो मिला है.
Right.
He looks at every film like that. He's saying, अरे यार अभिनय ये तू मतलब क्या बात है, अच्छा अच्छा चलो बैठते हैं उसके ऊपर. So I personally think this attitude, and all of us should have this in us, to say that ये मेरा पहला और आखिरी job है. If you start
Fantastic.
approaching every job like that, see how you'll give 1,000,000% to it. And there's nothing that can stop you from success then. And that's, I think, the secret of his success, which I've just let out to the world now.
That is fantastic. And to be
Amazing.
doing it all these years so consistently, that is what I'm sure amazes everyone. But that's what
No,
sort of
because it happens
represents
to
him.
many people, right?
Yeah.
That they get success and they feel they've arrived.
Yeah,
And then
complacent also.
they become complacent. They become, अच्छा चलो ये तो आना ही था. He doesn't look at it like that. He says, मैं वो 7 दिन में भी स्ट्रगलर था और मैं अभी सावी मेरी आखिरी फिल्म में भी स्ट्रगलर ही हूँ.
Amazing.
It's amazing to know that.
Fantastic. Final thing to wind up. Divya, I have to ask you again this, that people have gradually warmed up and really really liked you, especially in the music videos. There have been very innovative music videos you've been a part of, and I think people are more like, okay, fine, now we see the more actor side of her, and now she's trying something new, which is need of the day, right? Do you still feel that people have preconceived notions, and do you attempt to break them, or it's just one of those things though, I'll be doing my work and it's going to speak for itself?
I don't think the audience has any preconceived notions. They have always been have always very happily welcomed me, and I'm thankful to them for that. But I guess the industry does. And I hope more doors open up for me. And of course, like you said, my work will speak for itself.
Right.
And that also comes, of course, for me being part of T series. I'm trying to carve my own identity, and it's never easy for a woman
Of course.
to be able to carve that identity away from the shadow of where
Yeah,
she's been
correct.
planted. Yeah. So, but I know that it will happen, and I'll keep working hard and hard and hard till I achieve.
Amazing, fantastic. Thank you guys, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time. Cannot wait to watch the film, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.